where that went. Now I'd like to just note, if he starts taking double gas once again around the 215 mark, he could possibly go straight back into, oh my god, alright, so going to be a single gas for now. He could go straight back into the proxy oracles once again, and I think he's going to be pleasantly surprised when he finds out that both these players are cross-map, and here's the CC first coming down from Newbie, so he's shaking it up already.
Josh, what position was the Terran in last game?
This is an exact replica of last game, except they're just doing different things.
Awesome. Well, we do have the CC first. You made a big deal out of him going barracks first last game. It's super ballsy to be going CC first, because last game he got cheesed and he did a safe build. This time, he's going CC first, so he's thinking, oh, there's no way you're going to cheese me twice in a row. He doesn't realize he's playing against CGAcademy.
But CGAcademy not terribly unawares of this. I like his positioning. He's going for the faster nexus, so he cut the workers that were in his assimilator, so he's stunted his gas production. He only got to 40. Really nice, down 1 second in gas, and this is basically going to allow him to get his faster cybernetic score, and then he'll probably start adding the 3 in gas, yeah. And this will just allow him everything to even up, except he got a faster nexus out of a response from the CC first. Now, hopefully, if Mubi gets good scouting information, he could even go for a triple CC build. I mean, it sounds crazy, but it's definitely an option, and it's an option on Whirlwind I love to exploit when Protoss don't realize what's happening. If you got 3 CCs and you're left alone for 10 minutes, you're unstoppable. You literally max out at the 13-minute mark with like an endless amount of bio, and it doesn't matter what tech tree Protoss is committed to, you can just throw units at them and it wears them out. It's amazing.
Viewers, I have very important information for you. Ashes, the caster kitty, has just joined the cast. He says hi.
Good old Ashes.
Alright, so
whoa!
There's a third base. There is no proxy shenanigans. I was about to say, we still haven't seen a pylon go down for CGAcademy on the wrong side of the map. So he's like doing economic cheese now. He's like, so I proxied you last game. Now I'm gonna make like 3 Nexus before I make my second gateway.
Oh, come on, he needs to confirm whether or not there's another gas. And he missed it! That is not good. If there were... no, he did actually say it. But there's so little units, so little gateways. You've got to be thinking at this point, like, okay, what is happening? This seems completely sus. It looks like Mubi's going to follow this up with a standardized timing. At 10 minutes, he's going to push out. And it's going to be a bit of a gamble here for CGAcademy. He's not yet mining gas from his second assimilator, which means this is going to stun his robo. If it stuns his robo and he doesn't decide to go for Colossus or he wants to go for Templar, then his tech's going to be late. And a 10-minute push with Marine Medivac and some stim could actually kill CGAcademy. But I want to see what his transition is. He's got his window of 4 minutes, and that's the time he has to work with. He's got this probe. He sees there's no fast third coming out from his Terran opponent. He's got the watchtower with the stalkers. That's really nice. And actually, we've got a small move out of 10 Marines. And this alone could actually end, or do actually, a significant amount of damage to CGAcademy. He's going to take the watchtower. CGAcademy not paying too much attention. He loses a stalker for free almost. Only gets one of these Marines into the red. And they're now pushing forward. And this is going to be a deciding factor on where this game decides to go. CGAcademy almost pulled a probe from his third Nexus, and that probably would have been a big telltale. Now, what have we got? We've got the Phone Overcharger is going to be really nice at pushing away this Marine Ball, but if you push it away, where's it going to go? And is he just going to divert straight from it? He's going to get right under the Mothership Core, so he's going to clean that out, maybe pick off a few probes. So doing some nice damage, but donating units and not getting the relevant scouting information. So CGAcademy still going to go through this mid-game with a nice lead. He's getting the extra gateways now, which is a smart follow-up. The only sure way I know of really being able to hold a fast 3 Nexus like this is to go for an 8-gate follow-up, then into the AoE units like your Templar and your Colossus, things like that. So I have a faster third response here from Mubi going around, the 8-minute mark. We're hitting his third CC, so he's following this up now with Bio. He's going for the double reactor and the 1 tech lab response rather than going for the Marauder Heavy. He's got his 3 gases, which is really nice, getting his +1 attack, going for the starport. So everything's going to equal out pretty well, but here are all these extra gateways, and we've got a Twilight Council going down for XTraterrestrials, so he's probably looking to change this up into like a huge 3-base Zealot Archon Templar build, and why wouldn't you? With the amount of gas that's going to be available to you after powering through with all of these probes in the early game, like we're currently looking at 50 probes versus 47 SCVs, and he's got the power of Chrono. He's going to do an amazing job.
Dude, absolutely, man. How important is Chrono Boost? Talk to me about that, because you always see like Protoss, ahead on upgrades. How important is Chrono to them, and why?
Well, it just cuts down everything. If you think of it like the mechanic of the mule in the opening starts of the game, they're getting faster probes. Protoss don't need to commit workers to the building. It kind of builds and warps in itself, so their economy is faster. It also helps to do timings, like if you want to cut 20 seconds or so off an upgrade and you're doing multiple chronos off of it, you're really shedding back the wait time that Protoss usually have. Things like the warp gates, charge, upgrades like your 1-1, your 2-2, things like that. You can actually have 3-3 finished by like 14.5 minutes if you open up with Double Forge and you get a faster third base and the Protoss is relatively untouched. Like, it's silly like how quick Protoss can get everything out with the Chrono Boost. For 25 free energy, it's amazing.
Absolutely. So I just realized something. This is a Christmas special.
Oh, Mubius read this so wrong. But yeah, go on.
It's red and green, dude. Red versus green. It's like, this should be a snowy map. They need a Whirlwind Snow Edition. Here we go.
He found it, yes! But is he going to have enough units to capitalize on this? Charge is about to finish. There's a bunch of Stalkers and...
It's about to get sandwiched.
Oh, he takes out the Nexus. Wow. Nice shot here by Movies. Capitalizing on this really well. Mine has you craft on top of these. Focus firing down all the medivacs. So these units are going to be committed here, and they have to fight the Zealots alone. Charge. 6 seconds away from completion. Such an unlucky timing here for Hajicraft, but his warping in Zealots actually creating a perfect surround, a concave of warp-ins. So all of these units are now forfeit. And where do you go from...
Dude, this is crazy. Like, that was not that much of the Terran army there. He only lost 11 supply, and he actually killed 7 supply in the attack. So really, that was a complete victory there for Mubi. XTraterrestrials getting caught with his pants down a little bit. I wonder if he feels like, a Catholic schoolboy. I'm just saying. I mean, did they use Vaseline, or was it just KY jelly?
Well, XTraterrestrials got the option to all in from here. He's getting a decent gas bank. He can definitely transition. Oh wow, those were huge force fields with a nice lift here by Mubi, bringing this back, kind of healing it up. This third base now completely exposed. The XTraterrestrials here. There's a bunch of freshly laid down mules. There's SCVs. Everything is here, and it can be taken out. Good force
fields there.
Yeah, locking in a lot of units. Oh, actually, a bunch of these SCVs escaped. We've got some Hellbats in the mixture here, identifying that there's a lot of charge lots. They are currently on +1, there's no additional upgrades for these Hellbats, but they still do a nice damage at cleaning out as many of these Zealots as possible. And Zealots warping in from the high ground, coming in and getting a nice sandwich, and Mubi might have overextended a little bit here.
Absolutely, dude. This is so crazy. XTraterrestrials, like every game I've casted of him, he gets hit hard. Like a blow that would kill anyone else. Wrecks his economy, something. And then he just attacks. He has this great sense of, like, urgency. He smells the blood in the water. He's like, oh, you attacked me. You overextended. I'm just going to go kill you now. So now he has hurt the third of Mubi, taken out a lot of SCVs, and traded significant supply counts. But has he come out ahead? Your thoughts?
It's a really tense situation. There's going to be more Archons being warped in, more charge lots. Like, we need to see a greater emphasis right now on the Hellbats, and they're still being produced, and it's the Archons who are going to be dealing the most damage, and not to mention tanking everything that's coming out from this bio army. The Stalkers are merely there just to tickle what's being laid waste. Like, the Zealots are the up front man, they want to get up close and personal. But
Here he goes! He's attacking up the ramp. There is a huge bio ball here for the Terran. Great positioning of the Terran. He's got a good concave, but the Archons are tanking a lot of damage. Zealots are in front. Stalker's doing damage, but the Protoss supply is dwindling. Oh my god, the Archon shields are almost down. There go the Archons. The Stalkers are being forced back. There's still a lot of bio here for the Terran. The infantry is pushing. Oh my god, Jesus banking quite a bit. He's going to have to warp in quickly. He's got a High Templar coming, but there is not enough AoE here. The bio ball is killing off more warping in Archons. Oh my god! Newbie is taking this victory.
Yeah, I would say this is definitely now in the favour of Mubi quite significantly, dealing with that and not taking very many, not like the casualties for the red player weren't that significant. Now he's got a huge bio ball, he's taking map control, there's only Stalkers left. Realistically, he'd love to try and get some storms and things like that going, but the ability that Terran player has right now is he can just doom drop in Hazucraft's base with an 140 supply versus 87 supply. Huge advantage going to Mubi in this, and there's just a significant lack of unit presence for the Protoss player.
Maybe he has better upgrades. He's at 2-2 against 1-1. He doesn't have any higher tech. He's literally on infantry, but that's pretty normal in Terran versus Protoss. However, CGAcademy has lost most of his high-end tech. There's no Archons, there's one High Templar, there's no Colossi. He really messed up when he forgot to go Colossi. He tried to go directly into High Templar, and he has not been able to hold a third base as a result.
I think it just stems down to the engagement. Like, he tried to transition out of it too quickly. Like, the Templar Archives was late. He tried to power up on an 8 gate to try and defend his third base, which got sniped. Then he tried to all in off of it and try and do a lot of damage, and that didn't work. Now we've got him basically being split between two edges. North side, south side. South side, there's now a huge drop going into the main. There's focus firing down his cybernetics core, and it's getting to the point where that's probably going to be game.
Yeah, it really feels like it, but CGAcademy has come back from a tight situation before. We'll see what kind of crazy shenanigans he can pull out of his ass and call macaroni.
Yeah, look, the Stalker's trying to come over here on the right-hand side, intercept these dropships, which is a really nice decision here, but there was a Marauder there, so has been alerted to the presence of those units. Meanwhile, all of these chargers now wrapping themselves on top of the bio army. There's nice feedbacks going down in the medivacs, but there just wasn't enough energy in them to really validate that. Storm's about to finish up for the Protoss player, but all these medivacs now boosting more on the left north-hand side of the map and just getting out of there. CGAcademy, decent warping, but it's now currently powering off of one base, and well, even when this army is dead from Mubi, all of it could die. But the follow-up of the 3-base economy, like the Hellbats, the Ghosts, the Marine Marauder, it's going to be too much, and look at it, that's just the final blow right there. And there's so many medivacs currently in Mubi's army composition. It's ridiculous. 15 medivacs?
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. Let's just take a look at the current units. There's 1 Archon, 18 Zealots, 10 Stalkers, 3 High Templar. Oh, hold that thought. The Protoss army that just mentioned has to run away. But compared to that, to 20 Marines, 18 Marauders, 5 Ghosts, there's just not enough Protoss stuff. This is a game of mathematics, and the mathematics say 171 minus 88 is 7 or 83.
he's trying to bail out some time for some storm, but good EMPs go down, and that pretty much renders the Protoss player and Mubi taking game number 3 for CGAcademy, for Clarity Gaming's Academy.
Gaming taking 3-2, man. You know CGAcademy is got to be upset with himself for not making that Phoenix. This all comes down to one Phoenix not made.
Yeah,
Think about that. Think about that, guys. Just take 30 seconds. Pause your minds. Think about that. One Phoenix not made in Game 1 against floating Terran buildings. He spent too many minerals. Had he saved 100 minerals, not made one extra pylon,
everything could have been different.
3-2 right now.
Yeah, but then the rematch, and Mubi just caught him. CGAcademy made a really calculated risk, and I think it was worth it given the position. I CCing first, that's fine. I'm just gonna go for a faster three Nexus and see how that goes. But It didn't pay off for him. Mubi found it, he killed it, and then Hazucraft overextended, and then he was Templar switch was actually too late. So the Archons got there late, there wasn't the warp in he needed, he didn't get the gases at his natural anywhere near as fast, so the gas bank actually wasn't big enough. He was stunted on upgrades, which was a big issue. Like, if you want to do like an 8-gate timing or something like that off of 2 base with Zealot Archon, you want to have at least 1-1. Generally, Protoss players will aim for a 2-2 timing at around the 11:30 to 12-minute mark. But he wasn't set up for that. He was set up for a long game investment, and he just lost it, and that's where it fell apart for him. So it was really unfortunate for Hazucraft.
I agree wholeheartedly, 100%, man. Clarity Gaming has this now 3-2. So you have to ask yourself, who are they going to send for this game number 6? They have to start it off, and then you have to wonder, who does Extraterrestrials send up in response? And what map do they choose?
Well, following what happened last time with Clarity Gaming, I think Bones will be up next. He was generally their closer, and he likes to play the very, I'm consolidating,
there it is!
I will take it. I will take it to the bitter end, and I will play nice and slow, and I'll play at my own pace, and you can play around me. Is basically, he's kind of like, if there was a schoolyard bully, he would be the kind of guy that goes, "I'm having your lunch," and you'd be like, "Well, no, you're not," and he would just take it anyway. Because that's just the kind of style of play he does. Like, I was there with an hour and 15-minute game where he was just like, you can do what you want, but I'm just going to let you bash up against me because I know I can control my army on my defensive side of the map better than you can.
So he's the bully that doesn't attack. He's like the defensive bully, is what you're saying?
I wouldn't really say the defensive bullying, but he's intimidating in that essence. Like, if he can sit there at, like, almost 300 and something APM for an hour and 15 minutes, it's gonna throw you in a sense of awe, not to mention to go, oh, well, how do I compete with that? If he can keep up that kind of speed and those kind of reactions for an hour and 15 minutes, what kind of late game am I going to be looking for? And he's a solid player, like, he plays safe as Protoss. So I think the only way to really beat him would to throw out an equally good Protoss. Like, I don't imagine him losing in a PVZ, and I don't imagine him losing in a PVT.
Well, they're actually sending out Bright. I'm looking up what race he is. He is Protoss. Wow, great assessment there, dude. And they want it on Newkirk. So that is awesome. Well, guys, we do have 71 people tuned in right now. Thank you so much for sharing this with your friends. Please continue to do so, because this may go all the way to the ace match. You have no idea. We may have another draw. You cannot be sure what's going on, because right now, guys, we're at a 3-2 lead for Clarity Gaming. But we've had cheese after cheese after cheese. We've had draws. We've had rematches. This has been scrappy as fuck. This is Shaft of the Clanning Casting Crew, proud to be presenting to you UASL Day 7. With me tonight is 9th Legion's very own Run Amok. And guys, if you like what you're hearing, please check us out on Twitter. On Twitter, I'm at the only Shaft. Josh's information is
at IXL Run Amok. Feel free to tweet at me. I'd love to start interacting with some people and really doing the theory crafting with others. Do generally love to do that stuff. It's pretty amazing. Alright, let's kick it off. We do have a PvP, Newkirk Precinct.
You can also check out the YouTube with VODs from myself and Josh, as well as many, many other talented casters and strategists at YouTube. That's going to be the Clanning Casting Crew. Just throw that into your Google search, or you can type the URL in, which is YouTube users misuse Shaft. It's up to you. Somebody stole my name. They misused it. Hence the name. It's not an allegorical perversion. Nothing like that. No, I did not misuse a shaft in the wrong hole, but just someone stole my name. Anyways, here on the bottom right-hand side of Newkirk Precinct, in this Protoss versus Protoss matchup, we have Extraterrestrials, Bright Protoss, the red one.
He's going straight for it, man. He's going to proxy gate him straight away. He doesn't care. He's just doing it. And Bones...
that's kind of the style Extraterrestrials has shown. Every game, cheese after cheese after cheese after cheese. They know they're in rank 2. They know that these guys are super talented. And they know that Bones is this high-end macro player. This is the right decision for XT.
And this is what I was talking about. Like, I don't know any other matchup that I could imagine Bones struggling in other than a mirror matchup. And in a mirror matchup, this kind of cheese that we're going to see coming out of Bright is going to be so strong. And if Bones makes the wrong decision and decides to play even the slightest bit greedy and goes for that Stalker first, it's going to be really difficult for him to hold this off. Like, even if he does go Stalker first, it's like, alright, I will kite. One Zealot just splits off the pack and goes and starts mopping up as many probes as he can, and then all of a sudden, you've got Bright, an economic lead, who can just transition out of it better than he normally can. Now, Bones is doing a really nice job scouting, but...
So do you think this is going to be a 2-gate proxy with Zealots, or do you think he's going to be going for that Cybercore?
Well, the gas changes everything. Now, this makes me think it might be like... I don't know. It's like the second gate's going up now, but with the gas, it's telling me he wants to transition out of it. Like, he's going to throw Zealots at him in the first wave, do some damage, and then progressively go up, and maybe then add in things like your Stalkers, etc., etc. But Bones going with the double gas, his Cyb's going to be a little bit late, but it's going to be like, okay, does he wait for the Cyb, or is he going to get the Zealot?
So Bones hasn't scouted at all. It's 17 supply here for him. And he has not scouted. He is literally not aware of what's going on. Still not aware. He's only just seen his opponent's probe. And that's not going to intercept those gateways. It's not going to intercept the pylon. He's not going to see the cybercore. He is not going to have any idea that this is occurring until his probe finally goes in here. And I don't think it's going in. I think he's... Well, here we go. He's angling back down now. I'm not sure, man. This is so late.
I just want to mention one thing real quickly. The beauty about what's happening is this probe is doing already significant damage to the pylon. Now, if the other Zealots that spawn out of the gateways get on top of this pylon and kill it, that's no more gateway, that's no more tech for Bones. Bones has nothing. Now we've got a Zealot versus probe situation where he's already... Oh, nice micro, but he is losing probes.
Super micro. That is how you handle early aggression. Zealots are easily surrounded, and even probes can kill them if you surround them. Surface area matters hugely early game against Protoss, because Protoss units are so bulky. You can think about trying to surround a speedling. It's really super hard. Think about surrounding a Stalker. As the probes displayed just here, pretty friggin' simple.
Yeah, the mothership core
is the mothership core. Yep, go ahead, target me down that Stalker. It's going to kill it, and if need be, he can even Photon Overcharge. I think this is the deal sealer. I'm pretty sure Bright has lost this timing attack. The thing is, how on earth does he transition out of this? Because, I mean, there's a cyber core in the middle of the map. You don't come back from that.
Yeah, by now, Bones has to identify that this is a proxy play. There's going to be a lot of units spawning in here, a lot faster for Bright, than Bones, considering how there's 2 gateways v1. But where does Bones go from here? He's currently pooling a bit of money. Oh, Bright getting supply block there. He's actually really, really low on probes, and I think that's probably going to be the deal breaker. We're looking at, 16 versus 12 right now. There's double gas going on. There's a second gateway being produced. He's getting another sentry, so the idea for Bones right now is just to cut off units before they get up the ramp, maybe allow 1 or 2 Stalkers to get up there, and then just fight them head on. This probe's going to get up and get a nice scout. Ooh, gets the block. Good decision.
Man, force fields are super key in this matchup. Holding ramps is like the only thing that anybody can do in either of the situation. Whoever tries to attack up that ramp or down that ramp is going to lose the battle if the armies are even. So basically this is a good time for Bones or for Bright rather, to try to take an expansion, which is why Bones is genius to go ahead and lay down a pylon right there.
Yeah, not to mention, if he can hold the aggression at his front door, he can do a counter warp in and get into Bright's mineral line. If he does that because his warp gates are finished up, then that basically seals the deal right there. Yeah, he's got the 3 sentries. He needs 1 more to have basically a force field contain almost inevitably, and then nothing else can happen. So here comes the last sentry, and then I imagine the next warp in is going to come from this pile that's sitting in that Bright's natural, and then that's basically game. Now Bones just demonstrating to us that he's just such a solid player, and well, I think that's what's going to take it home for Clarity Gaming. Like, they are one win away from victory right now, so Bright probably not looking to get rid of this too early, but his Stalkers are completely out of position. Here comes the first Zealot warp in. This probe's going to get down here and be like,
no
oh.
defense at home.
Nope.
No defense at home for Bright. He is literally going to have to send a Stalker all the way there. He's actually sending his whole Stalker army. This is going to pull Bright completely out of position and is giving Bones even more defensive latitude. He can now take his natural, no problem, all on the back of one Zealot. Oh my god. Red does not need to send all these Stalkers. This is a huge mistake. What he should have done here is send 3 Stalkers. The rest should have been pressuring up that ramp, threatening to go up. Oh my god. Oh my god. Bones has played this perfectly. Bright trying to get some, wow. Bright trying to stay alive, but really moving out of position there.
Yeah, now we see the Immortals coming out of here for Bones, so this is just going to further secure his lead. Not to mention he's found the proxy gateways, focus fire down the pile, and the warp gate research hasn't even really begun just yet.
Yeah.
Look at that.
This all comes down to pulling Red's army out of position, dude. He pulled him out. He said, okay, so you're going to move all your army down there? Sure, I'm just going to go kill all your production facilities. And guess what, Josh? That's GG. Whether it ends now or not, this is the moment we look back and say, game over.
Yeah, it was really nice to kind of open up with that kind of aggression, but I know Bones just held it really well. He pulled the right amount of probes. He's like, alright, well, I'll just chase you down with probes and this Zealot. You've got a kite. You don't have enough units to really validate anything. Now we've got force fields going down. Catches 2 of these Stalkers. The Immortal getting on there and doing super amounts of damage. That plus 50 versus armored units is so strong. A second Immortal now in the face. So these Stalkers don't have anything close to a chance. We see 1 gate being produced now by Bright. Is actually almost half the supply of Bones, and he even lost his mothership core, so things just aren't looking too good for him. Oh man, the time warp.
Not. Bright is basically in a position where all he can warp in are Zealots. And he knows it, so it's GG, well played. Clarity Gaming closing this out 4-2. They're still undefeated. Extraterrestrials, who had been undefeated, now are no longer defeated. This is kind of like when you put 2 teams that are completely undefeated against each other, it's like putting super glue in a non-stick pan. Somebody is about to be wrong.
Alright, so that about ties it up for us today, guys. Thank you. Good quick shout-outs to Clarity Gaming, and obviously XTraterrestrials. Feel free to follow them on Facebook and on Twitter. I know they would really appreciate it. Feel free to follow us. Not to mention subscribe, like our videos. It helps. Like, even if you don't want to watch the full thing, just the viewers and the upvotes and things like that really keep our passions alive. And
absolutely, this has been a hell of an honor, dude. Like, casting the UASL has been one of the most enjoyable things I've done in casting this year, actually. Like, this has been amazing, getting to meet all these awesome teams, be introduced to all these awesome casters. I don't know if everybody's aware of it, but we're actually winding down. This is week 4, isn't it, of a 7-week tournament? So we're in the we're going downhill now as far as time left in this tournament, but it's only going to get better from here. I personally cannot wait for the playoffs. This is getting better and better each week. Please tell your friends, hashtag UASL on Twitter, talk about it on Team Liquid, talk about it on any forums you go to, any social media you use. As Josh was just explaining, every view counts, every like counts. Think about it. If you go on Reddit, watch 10 minutes of our video, but upvote it, and one person watches it because of your upvote, and they upvote it, and the cycle repeats, That is huge for us as casters. That's huge for these teams. That is an amazing way to support everybody involved and really promote esports. I know all of us are interested in doing that. Just so you know, this is Shaft of the Clanic Casting Crew. You can follow me on Twitter at The Only Shaft. You can check me out on YouTube at Misused Shaft, or googling the Clanic Casting Crew. Me and Josh actually have a new unit control video coming out later this week that is going to be on Terran Spellcasters. Please check that out. This is going to be a timeless video. You guys will love it. Thank you for being awesome, and this is Shaft signing out.